Who is this guy with the gray hoodie? This is Cole Lishkari from San Francisco. Oh, we got to do that thing. San Francisco, a gay city.
Oh,
He's not gay though. He survived it. That's why he's no longer there. Wait, you are there now? What's happening?
yeah, I'm actually there right
Oh
now.
shit.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
there. He's in California right now.
I am.
So you were in Medellin also. So you said that. And how is it? Your experience is good there.
Yeah, yeah, it was similar to actually what Casey said. Is my response
Oh,
is the women from Medellin itself have a lot of problems. I've never seen a more traumatized
mm,
dating scene in my life. Truly,
traumatized.
truly, truly. Just yeah, they just they drink on every holiday, every weekend, everything. They connect a lot easier. People are very friendly, so they easier wind up in situations they don't want to wind up in. So there's a collective trauma out there. So when you start to date a woman, even at 21, 22, 20, they've have a bunch of fears, a bunch of boundaries, a bunch of things. That's what I noticed in Medellin. Now, if you move outside the city, I actually had a motorcycle and I used to take trips to little pueblos. It's a different scene out there. People know there's only 200 people, 300 people. So that's why it's really important if you do these countries to learn Spanish. If you don't learn Spanish, you're getting all the gold diggers who are like, okay, I'm learning English so I can get myself an American or European man. But if you learn Spanish, you can go to the small
Come.
towns and you can actually go to places where they have family values, and it's a lot better. Overall, Colombia has a little bit of a excessive drinking culture, reggaeton culture. So they're very, if you're into that, it's good. But if you want more day game and all, it's a little bit harder. A lot of the women are very hardworking out there. There are actually a lot of feminist principles, like women have to have their own jobs, be a leader of the family. There's a lot of feminist principles out there which aren't great. But the thing which is really amazing about Colombian women is they're very emotional. So the guys like myself who leave the US because you don't want to go on a date with another guy and talk about careers and politics and logic, you can have the dance of masculine and feminine polarity very easily with Colombian women because they're in their emotions and they love masculine men, and even if they don't love it, they might hate it, but it brings out the feminine in them, and it's very fun. So
Mm. How do you think it compares to Peru or Lima in general so far, especially about like the feminist part about Colombia?
yeah. So I've been in Lima for what now, 2.5 months, so smaller sample size there, but dated multiple women, one of them consistently already. And I'd say in Lima, there's more family values. There's more kind of them looking for a relationship, them looking for couples. In Colombia, it's hookup culture. They're all about it. And in Lima, in Peru, they're looking more for that. They have more family values, usually more. They live with their families, spend time with their families, less drinking culture, less body counts. I'm seeing that in Peru. A little bit less exciting, but more quality. Whereas in Colombia, the excitement level is 10 out of 10 there. But if you're looking for someone who's going to have your back, be caring, be thoughtful, a lot harder to find in Colombia just because they have so much abundance, right? That whole culture has been sexualized. They know that they have the biggest product produced in Colombia is sexuality. The women know that. They all know that. I haven't been
Secure.
in dating apps in a couple of years, but they all have the Eiffel Tower. They all have Dubai in the background. Like their biggest production in Colombia is sexuality. So they use it.
Mm, interesting. Yeah, I think like in Peru at least it's really a lot more like relationshipy, like way more paternal, lots of fatherhood here, lots of emphasis on family. It's interesting. It really
Yeah.
got me thinking about some perspective. Speaking of which, maybe that's an opportunity to show this. Here, let's share this screen. The free stages of game.
Let's see it.
Da-da-da-da-da. One, two, free. A dating coach cannot claim to be advanced at game if he can't even handle a relationship with a woman. Game isn't just about getting women to sleep with you, and not recognizing the stages of game damages the lives of pickup artists long term. There are three stages of game: dating, meeting women, relationships, keeping women, family, raising family, and building legacy. There are many guys who become stuck in stage one of game, and there are also many PUAs who proceed through the stages of game only to retire the mindsets of game without realizing the real practical applications game has on raising a family. This is written for blah blah blah. Stage one, dating. Of course, that's the exciting one. That's where the excitement is. Um, Meeting women, dating. This is widely known as the dating game. The way to meet women is through the four pillars of game: day game, night game, social circle game, message game, blah, 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 blah. The problem with the PUA mindset is that it is too focused on stage one of game. Many PUAs become trapped in the stage one mindset, placing too much importance on the endless pursuit of dating as many women as possible, aka chasing this, trying to eat as many potato chips for get so many lays for their lay count. That's something that guys become trapped in, and it hurts. There is no genuine end goal or higher purpose within stage one of game dating without the existence of stage two of game relationships. Abundance is great, but abundance alone doesn't automatically secure the next stages of game for you. If your entire identity is that you're a pickup artist and day game is your only hobby, you will struggle to keep women around once they realize that you have nothing genuine going on in your life. A woman might be attracted to a guy's game for a week, but she stays for his world, for his lifestyle. If your world is just haunting balls with your spam approach day game, she will not see herself in your world. Even coaches themselves advise against getting into relationships and avoid relationships themselves. But this is detrimental to your future. If by the time you reach your 30s or 40s and you still have little to no relationship experience, what do you think is going to happen? I'll just check that nobody's jumping in. By the time you want to get into a relationship or have a family, you're going to be on the more unfortunate side of the spectrum where the divorce rate is concerned. So don't be surprised when you spend 20 years doing day game, get married, and then get divorced after 2 years. You've trained how to fish, but not how to prepare and cook one. What's funny to me is that many dating coaches will make videos roasting random celebrities or figures if that figure's girlfriend or wife cheated, blah, 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 and then simultaneously refuse to admit that relationships are a part of game. Funny. Especially in the last few weeks, this has been happening with like comedians and shit. Akash Singh or whatever his name is. Cold approach is only a small part of game. Cold approach doesn't even encompass 2 of the 5 pillars of game. So it is therefore necessary to understand that game isn't just about dating. The game is life itself, and you are the protagonist. Don't set yourself up for disaster in the future just because unmarried dating coaches are telling you to stay single. Lots of guys are stage 1 rich and stage 3 poor, in that they have 500 phone numbers, but not a single woman they can trust to be their life partner. And I'll speed up on the rest about stage 2 and whatever. Game doesn't end when you get into a relationship. I find it funny when guys say they stopped doing game because they got a girlfriend, or that they are getting back into game after breaking up with their girlfriend. The game doesn't end when you get into a relationship. It just enters the next stage. And if you cannot apply any game to your relationship, then you completely miss the entire point of game in the first place. Several people have come to me confirming that dating coaches even admit that they are staying away from relationships because it would make it harder for them to teach game and be a coach. Skill issue. So why are they coaches? Many men surrender leadership when they get into a relationship, and their girlfriend or wife later then begins to dominate the relationship. Hence the popular term, she wears the pants in a relationship. You can think you have all the game there is just because you slept with hundreds of women and ate thousands of potato chips. But the moment you let a woman dominate your relationship, you clearly have no relationship game. And you may not even realize it until it's too late. All because you got too comfortable. The ideal woman for your life is a woman who makes you a better man. If you are with a woman who makes your life worse and brings out the worst in you, you're with the wrong woman. That's not good for your game. So, on yeah, if you can't keep a woman around, you ultimately have a lifestyle or inner game problem. On the flip side, if you keep a woman around but you can't maintain your game leadership, your life can easily descend into misery. This is why stage two of game is important. Um, because it's not only just a part of a game. Game isn't something you put on a shelf in a storage closet when you get into a relationship. It doesn't just fucking disappear. But your happiness will certainly disappear if you do not realize or utilize the power of game in relationships. Stage three of game, I'll keep this much shorter. Raising family, building legacy, family game. I haven't figured out everything about it yet, but with family, you get the full benefits of a woman. Children, loyalty, support of your mission, femininity. Or you can get that in dating too, but not the children, the support of mission, the loyalty, and so on. Um, it's the only one out of the stages of game that you can boldly implement into your identity, your father, or your family man. It is the only stage of game that can fulfill itself as a sole higher purpose of life itself. You could have more purpose, but I'm just saying. There is truly nothing better than raising your own little clones and conspiring with them to take over the galaxy. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. There's some more there, but for guys who are curious, that's on the website. Okay. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the different stages of game is one of the most important things that modern men aren't understanding because game can be a very superficial thing and it can be a very authentic thing, right? It can be a mask you're putting on or it can be who you are. The guys who can get in a relationship for 3 years, get out and still be good with women again because they are that man. And then when they show up in business, they are that man. If they're single, they are that man. In their relationship, they are that man. But so many guys I've seen in the world of game are putting on a mask, right? Maybe they had the nice guy thing going on when they were younger, right? Maybe they got hurt a few times by being too nice, being too sweet, being too kind. And then all of a sudden they realize, wow, if I play this shtick, I can attract more women. I can get more women into me. I can get more women wanting to come home with me. But they haven't learned how to become that guy. So when adversity strikes, right, when the heart starts opening, your heart starts getting soft. A lot of guys collapse. You talk about the last lack of leadership. Why is that lack of leadership happening? Because they know how to have game when they can put on a front. They know how to have game when they can show up and day game 2 hours a day. But when you're living with this person, all of a sudden that softness that you lived with for 30 years starts to come up. You know, that over compromising, that over people pleasing. So to really become that man, you're going to be that man single, you're going to be that man in relationship, you're going to be that man with women, you're going to be that man in business. And I think of a lot of men focused on just becoming that dude. That's just who you are. It's the confidence you have on the inside. It's the way you speak. It's the way you make eye contact. It's the way you truly believe in yourself because of your own life experiences. I think that's when you can handle relationships better as well. And I agree with you, Ice. Relationships allow you to connect with women at a more authentic level, right? When you're just single for, I was this in my early 20s, when you're just single for years on end, you don't really realize how to connect with a woman. You don't really realize what her deeper needs are, what she's actually looking from you in all ways, in intimacy, in her own safety. Women are safety seeking creatures. So when you get in a relationship, you really understand what the needs are of a woman. And then dating, when you're able to bring that in, it just makes everything better because women are seeking authenticity in some way. It's women want you to be authentic, but they want you to authentically be the best version of yourself. They don't want you to be an authentic crybaby. They don't want you to be an authentic loser. They want you to be authentic, but authentically the best version of yourself. And I think relationships are the best teacher because there's no running away, right? When you're living with a woman, you can't run away from it. You have to be that guy or be soft, and you can't hide it. So I think relationships are a great teacher for dating in all facets.